Hey, Dr. Lewis. So for this project, it's going to be presented by me, LeCompte, Dalton Shorter, and Kirkland Wilson. Kirk's not here with us at the time, so he's going to be making a separate video. We're going to be combining them or just making two parts to this video. But for our financial product that we chose, it's going to be a knockout option. I remember you talking about bear and bull options in Finance 447, and I realized that is a knockout option. So we're going to go more in detail about these knockout options. So how the product works. It's a built-in mechanism to expire worthless if a specified price level and the underlying asset is reached. So pretty much knockout options, they're a barrier option in which they have a barrier price that the company will set. They also have a strike price and a purchase price. And if this asset hits the barrier price, it is considered worthless and the contract will just expire and you'll lose the premium. The premiums are relatively cheap for these options, and so you will not lose that much, but you also will have limited gains. So if you're looking for a big money option, this is not it, but it's a safe option, and that you usually invest into companies that are less volatile or like propose less risk. So it is called a barrier option because it does have a barrier. NADEX, the North American Derivatives Exchange, knockout contracts are regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. It's considered to be an exotic option in that it is different from the traditional call and put options. It differs in payment structures, expiration dates, and strike prices. They're pretty much hybrid securities that investors can change to fit how they want it to work or fit the needs of the investor. There are really two types of knockout options. It's going to be the up and out barrier option and the down and out barrier options. And like I said in the beginning, it's called the bull and bear knockouts. And like I said earlier too, it's limited losses, but also limits the profits. So where are they usually bought at? What markets? It's going to be the commodity and currency markets and also the over-the-counter markets at times. But you usually see it in the currency markets because usually countries' currencies are less volatile in movements. And so they don't propose much risk, and you will have less losses as well. So the odds of a company or like the option hitting the barrier in these kind of markets are really rare. So that's why companies usually propose that. And since the premium is so small, you're not going to lose that much. But it is beneficial to institutions who are only interested in hedging up or down to very specific prices, or have very narrow tolerances for risk. So if you want less risk, definitely get these options, but also you won't be making as much gains. But Dalton, he's actually going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of these options. So I'm going to let him talk right now.
Okay, so one of the greatest advantages of knockout options for investors would be the low premium costs. When you compare the regular call or put options, this can translate to a lower loss if the stock price goes past the barrier in the option. The investor will lose less in comparison to, say, the premium of a call option or a regular put option in exchange markets. These options are also much more customizable in comparison to regular calls and puts, and that this is also because they're over the counter, so there's a lot more information, I guess, to be able to do these off of and whatnot. So it can be very specific and good for hedging and whatnot. There's also a lot of negatives, though. One of the major, one major drawback of knockout options is that the investor not only has to guess the direction of the move of the stock correctly, but they also have to guess the magnitude. If it's going to be a large increase in price or decrease, whatever. They have to guess all that right in order to not lose a premium and have it go outside of the barrier. Knockout options also limit the potential gains, and that's known up front. So it's limited losses, but also limited gains. And they're also not very liquid. Once the premium's purchased, it cannot be turned back into cash or I guess, yeah, it can't be turned back into cash until it's exercised. And if it's not exercised, the premium is lost. So that is another negative aspect of these as well. Now Kurt will be talking about the different types of knockout options, and yeah.